Thank you all for coming. I'll have a statement. Alexander will have a statement. We'll be glad to answer 2 questions per side. Welcome back. This is a happy moment because I get to see my friend again. It's a sad moment because he is leaving office. He has done an extraordinary job. We have built a strong personal relationship, but more importantly, we have a strong strategic relationship with Poland, thanks to your leadership. Alexander has helped advance the cause of peace by advancing the cause of freedom. He has served as a mentor for new democracies in the neighborhood. He has proven that you can be a friend of the United States and a loyal member of the EU at the same time. We have worked hard together to improve the lots of both our peoples. And, Mr. President, you can leave with your office with your head held high because of the fine job you have done. I am glad you came back, and it's an honor to be able to praise you to the people of your country for a fine job.
Thank you, Judge.
Hold on, we can do a little.
Yes, but thank you for this nice kind words. Yes, I think this interpretation is better for. Prosimy bardzo.
Especially after what I just said.
Dziękuję bardzo. Jestem bardzo zadowolony, że mogę gościć prezydenta Kwaśniewskiego tutaj. Jest to miła chwila, miła okazja, ale również i smutna, dlatego że opuszcza on swój urząd. Jest to niezwykle udany okres jego prezydentury i wspaniałą wykonał pracę w tym względzie, szczególnie w kontekście związków między naszymi krajami, ale również w kontekście naszych strategicznych związków z Polską. Aleksander pomógł w tworzeniu pokoju, jak również w szerzeniu demokracji w krajach sąsiadujących. Pokazał również, że Polska może być zarówno przyjacielem Stanów Zjednoczonych, jak też i lojalnym członkiem Unii Europejskiej. Na pewno prezydent Polski może z wysoko uniesioną głową odchodzić z urzędu, ponieważ spisał się wspaniale.
Dziękuję bardzo. Ja chcę panu prezydentowi podziękować za miłe słowa. To rzeczywiście jest wizyta i pożegnalna, i podsumowująca 10 lat mojej prezydentury i współpracy polsko-amerykańskiej. Zaczynaliśmy w innym świecie i myślę, że w innym, lepszym świecie mogę finalizować ten okres. Jesteśmy razem w NATO. Do NATO należą inne kraje Europy Środkowej i Wschodniej. Wspólnie możemy cieszyć się obecnością w strukturach północnoatlantyckich, krajów bałtyckich. Budujemy pokój, stabilność w naszym regionie, walczymy z terroryzmem w bardzo różnych miejscach świata i wypełniamy swoje zadania jako Polska lojalnie, efektywnie, przyczyniając się do tego, żeby było więcej pokoju, więcej wartości demokratycznych, więcej szacunku dla praw człowieka w różnych regionach tego świata. Współpracowaliśmy w tym czasie z panem prezydentem Bushem, podejmując trudne, ważne i w moim przekonaniu potrzebne decyzje. Dzisiaj była okazja o tym porozmawiać i zastanowić się, na ile ta polityka będzie kontynuowana przez mojego następcę, przez nowy rząd w Polsce. Jestem przekonany, że gdy chodzi o sprawy zasadnicze, o sprawy wartości, o sprawy polsko-amerykańskie, przede wszystkim będzie dobra, efektywna kontynuacja. Chcę również powiedzieć, że dokonaliśmy podsumowania naszych spraw dwustronnych. Wiele rzeczy ciągle jest jeszcze przed nami. Złożyłem dokument, który Państwo widzicie na stole przed prezydentem Bushem. To jest rodzaj podsumowania z polskiej strony tego, co udało nam się osiągnąć w dziedzinie współpracy dwustronnej, ale także gdy chodzi o kwestie regionalne i atlantyckie. To jest rodzaj dokumentu, który ma być z jednej strony podsumowaniem, a z drugiej strony zachętą do dobrej współpracy w przyszłości, ponieważ ja odchodzę, a prezydent Bush zostaje na kolejne lata. Wierzę, że on będzie właśnie tym, który będzie pilnował, by sprawy polsko-amerykańskie szły w jak najlepszym kierunku.
I want to thank you very much, Mr. President. I want to thank you very much for those nice words. And it is true that this visit is both the farewell visit and a visit that is a recapitulation of 10 years of my presidency and 10 years of Polish-American relations between our two countries. I started my presidency in a different world, and now I'm leaving the office when the world is different, and the world now is better, I believe. We are together in NATO. We are in NATO together with other Central and Eastern European countries. We are in NATO together with the Baltic states, and we are also together in a group of family. Together, we are building peace and stability in different spots of the world. We are fighting together against terrorism. We are fulfilling our task with joy and satisfaction, and we do it effectively. And together, we are bringing more peace and more democracy to the world. We are also creating more values for the humanity. We are fighting for human rights and for the dignity of human beings. And we have been cooperating together with President Bush, and we have made together very tough and very difficult and very important decisions. Today we talked about what we have done together, and we have also talked about the fact that we will be continuing the policy of cooperation between the two countries, and that the new Polish government and my successor in the presidential office will continue this policy in the years to come. I want to say that I'm very happy that we are enjoying and following values between Polish and American cooperation, and that we are developing our contacts. We have summed up our bilateral cooperation. There is still very much ahead of us. And here, as you can see here on the table next to President Bush, there is a document that I have presented him. And this document is the recapitulation of our achievements. And it is also the information about our future cooperation. It's also the encouragement to cooperate in the future.
Thank you. We'll take a couple of questions, Deidre.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Why do people in this White House feel it is necessary to tell your supporters that Harriet Miers attends a very conservative Christian church? Is that your strategy to repair the divide that has developed among conservatives over her nomination?
People are interested to know why I picked Harriet Miers. They want to know Harriet Miers' background. They want to know as much as they possibly can before they form opinions. Part of Harriet Miers' life is her religion. Part of it has to do with the fact that she was a pioneer woman and a trailblazer in the law in Texas. Remind people that Harriet Miers is has been rated consistently one of the top 50 women lawyers in the United States. She's eminently qualified for the job. She has got a judicial philosophy that I appreciate. Otherwise, I wouldn't have named her to the bench, or nominated her to the bench, which is that she will not legislate from the bench, but strictly interpret the Constitution. So our outreach program has been just to explain the facts to people. But more importantly, Harriet's going to be able to explain the facts to people when she testifies, and people are going to see why I nominated her to the bench, and she's going to make a great Supreme Court judge. Go ahead.
Mr. President.
No, sorry. Go ahead and answer. Who do you want to call?
Yes. So please, next question.
This question to President Bush. There is a significant change of power underway in Poland right now. Some have already said that they would ask for more from the United States in return for Polish support and continued engagement in Iraq. Are you aware of these positions, and do you expect any changes in Polish-American relations? Any tougher talk, maybe?
Well, we had to talk about who might succeed Alexander and their opinions. My advice would be for whoever succeeds the president to come and visit and to exchange visits with foreign ministers, such as our foreign minister as well as our Minister of Defense, and to strategize. That's what friends do. They share concerns and share goals, and then work together to satisfy concerns and achieve goals. And I'm confident that's going to happen.
May I add in Polish? Myśmy o tym rozmawiali. Myślę, że to jest ważna informacja dla polskich mediów. Polska chce, aby misja stabilizacyjna zakończyła się sukcesem. Chcemy również być bardzo poważnym partnerem, bardzo lojalnym uczestnikiem międzynarodowej koalicji. Nasze wojsko jest i kontyngent jest do końca stycznia, to jest zadecydowane, nic się nie zmienia. Natomiast gdy chodzi o przyszłość, respektując prawo nowego rządu oraz wybranego prezydenta do decyzji, jest słuszna sugestia, którą przekażemy za chwilę w Warszawie już bardziej oficjalnie ze strony prezydenta Busha, aby po ukształtowaniu się polskiego rządu minister spraw zagranicznych i minister obrony niezwłocznie odbyli wizytę tu w Waszyngtonie, żeby jak uczciwi sojusznicy porozmawiać o przyszłości, bo przecież ta przyszłość wykracza niewątpliwie poza styczeń przyszłego roku i jest w ogóle pytaniem o to, co robić wspólnie, aby misja stabilizacyjna w Iraku zakończyła się pełnym sukcesem.
I would like to say a few words for the Polish media here. We have talked about this, and I think that this is information important for the Polish media. Poland wants the stabilization mission in Iraq to be a success and to complete with success. We want to be a serious partner, and we want to be a steadfast and loyal partner in the coalition. Our troops are in Iraq, and they will stay in Iraq until the end of January, and this decision has been made, and nothing changes here. But we have to think about the future, and we have to respect the right of the new government and the right of the new president to make their decisions about it. There was the right suggestion of President George W. Bush, and this decision will be forwarded by me to our authorities and people in Poland when I come back, that after the new government is established, the new Polish defense minister and the foreign minister should come here to Washington to talk about the future, because future goes far beyond January next year, and we have to talk about what we shall do together to continue this cause.
Karen.
Thank you, sir. The Syrian Interior Minister has committed suicide. What are the consequences for Syria if they are implicated in the murder of the former Lebanese Prime Minister?
I don't want to prejudge the report that's coming out, the Mellish report. I think it's very important for Syria to understand that the free world respects Lebanese democracy and expects Syria to honor that democracy. You know, it's one thing to have been asked to remove troops and all intelligence services. Now the world expects Syria to honor the democracy in the country of Lebanon. Secondly, we expect Syria to do everything in her power to shut down the transshipment of suiciders and killers into Iraq. We expect Syria to be a good neighbor to Iraq. We expect Syria not to agitate killers in the Palestinian territory. We're making good progress toward peace in the Holy Land. But one of the areas of concern is that foreign countries, such as Syria, might try to disrupt the peace process through encouraging terrorist activity. So we have a lot of expectations for Syria beyond just the Mellish report. But let's see how the Mellish report, what it says. And in the meantime, we're continuing to work with friends and allies to send a clear message to the Assad government. There are expectations involved for countries that want to be accepted in the international community. Go ahead.
It's a question to Mr. President. We didn't feel that during last summits between American and Russian leaders, American diplomacy was stepping up the pressure on Moscow in reference to the process of democratic reforms in that country and situation in Chechnya. And right now, we have a long list of problems between Poland and Russia. So what's your point of view on that, and what would be your advice for a new Polish government, how we should handle this situation?
I've got good relations with President Putin. America has got a working relationship with Russia, and always as a part of our discussions with Russia is when I have personal discussions, to remind him of my deep faith in democracy. And the people that relate with Russia from my government remind their Russian counterparts about democracy and its importance. The reason I believe in democracy so strongly is because I believe in freedom. And democracy is a manifestation of free societies. I believe there's a desire for everybody to be free. I also know that free societies are peaceful societies. One of the goals of this administration is to promote peace. And the more democracy and the more freedom there is, the more likely it is the world will be peaceful. So we've got a consistent message to to Russia, and that is that one should not fear democracy, one should embrace democracy. Now, having said that, I recognize that Russian democracy will be different from the United States. We don't expect every country to look like us. We just expect people to embrace some universal truths: the right of people to worship freely, the right of women to be able to equally participate in society, which is the case in Russia, of course, the rule of law, the respect for private property. I mean, these are fundamental, basic principles that we believe should be inherent in all societies. People need to make those choices themselves, but one of the roles of the United States is to remind people about how beneficial a democratic society can be to its people. And so we're consistent in our message. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. You see, this is the difference between the president in power. You have many questions, and the president who finished his job. No questions. Thank you.